Hello, hello, and welcome back to Danganronpa Lapse. So, we are continuing where we left off, where I announced that my favorite character was now Cyrus, and then he was killed. Sounds about right. Ashley is here on the floor, but she's not dead. She's still alive. I don't know what happened to her. She's not waking up. I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea who could have done it. I think they want to make you think that it was Lyle or Missy, but I'm not sure because Missy was like, I'm gonna go get the gun and I'm gonna intimidate Cyrus basically and like make him comply with what we're doing and like get to the bottom of why he was acting the way that he was, which was cool. Anyway, but as soon as she split up from Echo and Ashley, like it wasn't that long after that the gunshots went off. So that makes me think, oh, it wasn't her. When she got to the foyer where she left the revolver, it was gone already and someone else had taken it. So that's what I think. I have no idea who it could be. Genuinely. We'll find out, I guess. let's keep going. We just did the investigation. I'm still confused. There was gasoline and a blowtorch kind of thing, and I don't know why, but we're gonna find out because I think we're gonna head to the trial now because I just finished the investigation, so now it's time for the trial, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I let out a deep sigh. Conducting an investigation was harrowing. I was exhausted beyond belief. Our group was already so small, yet given everyone's paired alibis, it became difficult to say who was behind this crime. It was difficult to say, barring one person. See, this is it. See, Echo thinks it's her. I don't think it's her. Because there's no, like, she would have had to take the revolver from the foyer, find Cyrus, and then, get into an altercation with him, and then shoot, right? That there was too little time between when they split up and when the shooting started. I'm just saying. What was Missy thinking? Had she been lying to us this whole time? No, I don't believe it's Missy at all. It could be anybody else. No, I couldn't jump to conclusions so quickly. It wouldn't be fair to Missy. Regardless, I had a bad feeling about all of this. Okie dokie, you all know what time it is. It's time for the class trial. I hope you've had enough ammunition to shoot down the culprit. If not, then I guess you're all out of luck. The elevator will take you all to the courtroom once everyone has boarded, so make it snappy. The timer for your bracelets to release toxic gas is set for 10 minutes after this announcement ends. Don't drag your feet. I rubbed my forehead in distress. This vicious cycle we couldn't see the end to continued once more. Why? I went over to Ashley's side and sat next to her. I gently placed 2 fingers at her wrist and felt a faint pulse. It was such an eerie feeling, knowing Ashley was alive but still so close to death. Forte laid his hand on my shoulder. Echo, we really ought to get going, lest we find ourselves in danger from Zero's capricious ways. How are they gonna bring her? Is someone gonna carry her? Like, no offense, but she's the tallest out of all of these people here. Who's gonna carry her? Like, no offense, but everyone's kind of tiny. Yeah, you're right. Forte, would you mind? Not at all. Forte lifted Ashley from the knees with ease, carrying her to the elevator. I followed behind him, trying to keep a close distance to Ashley. Okay, so he's carrying her. I'm guessing, he grabbed her from the knees. Is he dragging her across the floor? Like, is he the only one carrying? He has her knees and he's just dragging her across the floor like she's some kind of sack. What? I don't know. Once again, our group apprehensively sauntered into the elevator. Our community had shrunk by 3. Yet, in the elevator cab, we were divided further. Lyle and Say, Cannon and Forte with Ashley in arms, myself, and Missy. Distrust hacked away whatever threadbare remaining connection we had. But this time, damning signs pointed at one person in particular. And that's exactly why it isn't her. I'm telling you. Missy Vesper. It's not her. Missy provided nothing to disprove those signs. Cyrus had been removed from the picture. Ashley was at the cusp of following. I was confused, hurt, and alone. What was I going to do during this trial? Is she going to be unconscious for this whole trial? The doors opened up and revealed the circular room once more. Oh, not Cyrus. Oh, I'm sad. I'm like, yeah, he's my favorite character. 10 minutes later, he's dead. I rushed in and raised my voice, calling at the expanse nothingness in the room. Zero? Eve? We know there's an infirmary connected to the courtroom, so please help Ashley. With a flash, the symbol for the other announcer, Eve, appeared. Echo, there is a cross button for the infirmary in the elevator. The doors will open on the opposite side of the courtroom, leading you to the infirmary. I turned around, and the courtroom side elevator door opened. I hopped in and pressed the cross button, opening the doors behind me. Forte swiftly carried Ashley in and gently laid her on the infirmary bed. He stepped aside as I clambered to the bedside. Why'd you put her in a glass case? She looks like Snow White in her coffin. I mean... Ash, please be okay. It was impossible to tell if she was breathing. Every inhale and exhale was so small and weathered. A glass encasing lowered to cover Ashley, and the monitor above began displaying her vitals. Her heart rate had plummeted to 45 beats per minute. Yeah, that's kind of low. That's kind of a problem. I will do my best to monitor her. Please. Oh, sorry, that's Eve. I thought that was Echo because it was yellow. I'm sorry. I will do my best to monitor her. Please, leave your worries at the door. There is a greater matter at hand awaiting you. Yes. Echo, we need to begin the class trial. I think it's so convenient that I'm sure it was done on purpose, like the culprit knocked her out on purpose because she saw whoever it was. I'm sure she saw them. So she would know exactly who it was. Her health is out of our hands. We can only do so much. The best thing we can do now is find the culprit. Our discussion will reveal what occurred. Yeah. I steadily stepped back. Ashley, I'll figure out what happened to you. I swear on my life, I'll find the culprit. Forte and I left the infirmary, crossing through the elevator that connected the infirmary into trial grounds. Heavy clouds hung over the dome glass ceiling. Everyone was already in their places as Forte and I crept to ours. Another murder. It was unreal. Oh, not why do you gotta show me Cyrus? Why did it have to be Cyrus after he suddenly became my favorite character? Why does this always happen to me? Cyrus's mild and unassuming demeanor made a 180 when his talent of ultimate charisma was revealed to be a ruse. He quickly suffered the consequences, his sudden aggressive temperament coming to a full stop out of nowhere. And Ashley's worrying condition. What could have possibly happened in the 2 rooms we found them in? However, despite the behavior Cyrus displayed, it was still shocking that someone would actually retaliate. Somehow, it felt like a hasty overreaction. Yeah, something's weird. But then again, a hasty reaction was what essentially pushed Art into bringing Pandora's demise. Yeah, but Art's motive was also a bit meh to me. The whole first trial was a bit meh to me. It was all difficult to call Art the culprit after the lack of black and white intentions. That's the whole point of these games, isn't it? Like, it's not black and white. No, not Cyrus. Cyrus, why you do this to me? But in the grand scheme of things, the rules of society were set to deliver retribution to those who commit crimes. Who's to say this place operated under the same conditions? The courtroom was eerily silent as we waited for Zero to appear. I gotta give Zero another voice. Should I give him the Art voice? There was a comment that said I should give him the Art voice. Maybe I will. Though that kills my throat, but... The atmosphere was justifiably tensed. Lyle and Say shared a similar dark vibe. I don't know about these two. I don't know. I got my eye on everybody because I genuinely have no idea who could have done it, other than I know it's not Missy. Cannon and Forte both looked unnerved, and Missy managed to put up a poker face despite the situation. Yeesh, it's about time you guys got here. And again, I have to say it. It's so weird how quiet you bunch are. Is no one amped up for another class trial? I put a whole lot of work into these, you know. Of course we're not excited, you knave. Missy's so mean. It's a shame no one's excited, but this ball's gonna keep rolling whether you like it or not. Oh, here we go. I'm excited. Let's go over the rules, shall we? You're all on trial to figure out who the culprit is of today's heinous crime. The rules are as follows. Discuss, discover, and determine who the culprit is among your group. A majority vote will seal the individual's fate and... we'll just see what happens from there, yeah? One of the few outcomes will occur. Determine and vote incorrectly, and the entire class is executed, with the culprit alone able to walk free and win the ultimate prize. That's the ideal endgame for the culprit. Determine and vote correctly, and the culprit alone will receive proper retribution and perish at the hands of your group decision. Phew, you might just live to see another day. Our victim today is Cyrus, the ultimate charisma. More like ultimate nonsense. Was no one suspicious of his name and talent? I would be. It really shouldn't be a surprise to anyone that charisma was not really his talent. I mean, yeah, his name was suspicious from the beginning, because that's why I call him Cyrus, because it's just Cyrus. It's like a palindrome of Cyrus. I think that's what it is, when the words spell back. I don't know. Listen, but I'm really upset that it was Cyrus. Genuinely, I'm very unhappy. Regardless, I called out his drivel last night and look where we are now. That is crazy though. Like, it's only been a day. It hasn't even been a day and they're back in doing another trial. Like, yeah, they had the forced motive question or whatever, but like, that didn't really, no one paid attention to it. Everyone ignored it. But yet it still happened. It's crazy. You all were quick to take what I said to heart, huh? Well, I'm glad. Saves me from having to get a motive set up and all that. So, without further ado, discuss away. Some water already. Don't mind if I do. Lyle. Missy. You think you know what I'm going to say, huh? Then say it for yourself. You think I'm a suspect. Oh, gold star. The point is moot. I'm not the culprit, and that's all I'll say on the matter. And why do you expect me to just roll with that? Because if you all vote incorrectly, then we'll all be in danger. Prove my innocence, or take my word for it. Missy, girl, come on, you gotta be trying to prove that you didn't do it. You can't just be like, yeah, I didn't do it, just take it with a grain of salt. Like, they're not gonna believe you unless you sit and prove why. I mean, I believe you, because I know it's not you. There was not enough time for you to do it, but... Missy, what's going on with you? Don't you know that's a bit much to ask, given the circumstances? I have my convictions. I'm refusing to share my alibi for my own reasons. Okay, Missy, that's really dumb. I'm sorry, but that is really dumb. like, that is really just dumb. And yet you don't fear the consequences? You're ridiculous. I'll lay it out all nice for you, okay? And then we can discuss whether or not holding your tongue is the wisest thing to do in this scenario. Consider the facts. You were not partnered with anyone. You refused to share an alibi, and you were the one who had the gun in the first place. Exactly, and that's why she should be saying her alibi. I don't understand why she's not. Do you know what killed the victim this time? A gunshot. You likely proposed traveling in groups so you could operate on your own. Isn't it all too damning not to be true? Say something, Missy! Despite her dangerously challenging Lyle, I held my belief in Missy steadfast. I wanted, in all sincerity, to trust everyone involved in this horrible game. But considering 2 people have been murdered, 1 executed, and 1 attacked, it was becoming difficult to justify my stance. I didn't understand. What was there for Missy to hide? You know what? Forget it. I'm taking charge of this discussion. Once again, I can only rely on myself. Echo, you're a walking record of events. Tell me why I shouldn't think Missy was alone during the crime. Ooh, that's an interesting wording, because she was alone when it happened. That is true. But the time between when she split up from Echo and Ashley, there's not enough time for her to find Cyrus, 1. And I'm sure, like, she wouldn't have shot first. It would have been, like, an altercation, an argument. There's just not enough time. Walking record? I'm not some encyclopedia of evidence. Or canon. If you have some sort of weird photo, fess up. Echo or canon, I don't care. One of you ought to pipe up with something we can work with. It can't be possible that neither of you 2 saw anything. Okay, I'm scared. Lyle has his sights set on getting something out of me and Cannon, but as far as I know, neither of us could have seen anything. Shut up, Lyle. I have no photograph of the sort. But when we arrived on the 3rd floor, we didn't see anyone in the halls. I was in the garage with Forte for the majority of the afternoon. Yes, as soon as we heard the first shot, I suggested we retreat to the garage. I'm sorry. I like doing a British accent, even though I'm probably offending everyone in Britain. And blocked entry from the 2 doors, the main hall door and the art gallery door. As for me, after 2 shots were fired, I found myself stuck in the art gallery. 3rd floor activity rooms can't be locked. Cannon and Forte blocked the garage side doors. And the main side doors were just inexplicably locked? Yes. Of course not! Cannon, Forte, and Echo are sharing the same story. This proves nothing. But doesn't it prove more that they are sharing the same story? Okay. Okay, I'm going back. I wanted to see if there was a second one. I'm sure we're agreeing with this. So do I click it, right? Trying to remember how to play. It's been a hot minute as I did the last trial. Hold on. Say, can you recall what happened when we met earlier? Before we discovered Cyrus's body, that is. When we met? You came tumbling out of the art gallery when Lyle and I arrived on the 3rd floor. Yes, but I couldn't leave the room from the inside. Oh, yeah. Lyle, when we arrived on the 3rd floor, there was a banging coming from the gallery. I couldn't check to see who it was or what was inside until I unwound the rope that bound the double doors together. See, Lyle? There's no way either Canon or I saw anything happen during the crime. If anything, Say and Lyle's whereabouts ought to be grilled as well, since they could have more questionable actions than us. That's right. Look, Echo's so tiny. They're so cute. I just wanted to say that. They're so tiny. Say, Missy said you were alone in your personal room for a portion of the morning. Yes. She declined an invitation to my morning announcement. Yeah. But later, after I heard 2 shots, I poked my head out. Only to get dragged out of my room by Lyle. I was investigating the mansion. I figured if anything fishy was going on, I'd have a witness with me to back my testimony. And while nothing happened to us in particular, at least I had Say there to support my alibi during the gunshots. Despite that, you were still acting suspiciously this morning, smashing the ovens and all. Lyle, don't you yourself warrant an explanation for what you were doing? Huh? I don't need to justify anything I'm doing. I'm the ultimate puzzle master, put in this evil game to solve it, inside out. If you all have any faith in your ultimate talents, you'll have faith in mine and my goals as well. I don't care if I break the rules. It's all part of the plan. I'll avenge Art. I'll stop the killings. And I'm solving this killing game on my own, come hell or high water. But didn't it occur to you that I'm on the same agenda? What? There aren't any stakes for you, Missy. Art was the only person I've encountered that made my talent worthwhile. I can only trust myself. I'll work alone until I can grasp the situation with my own hands. Only then will it be real. Everyone involved. You're all just pieces of this puzzle. Ew, what is that guy even saying? You're an oddball, Lyle. But thanks for reminding me. Reminding you of what? I don't have much power outside the courtroom, believe it or not. Eve mostly controls and monitors all that outside boring stuff. But I knew you'd all eventually end up back here soon enough, so, I just had to wait. Wait, what? What the heck is he doing? With a snap, the trial wall slammed open to reveal a large metal hexagon adorned with a cruelly looking M. No, that's the Monokuma symbol. We know this symbol. Lyle crumpled to the floor as we all backed away, astonished at whatever invisible pain was being inflicted upon him. It's a sonic weapon. High-powered sound waves from me personally to Lyle. This is what you get for fiddling with my door trap. Oh, that's kind of messed up. Like, I know that Lyle is... He's a bit intense, but I also understand him, and I quite like Lyle, actually. He's definitely one of my top favorite characters. Other than Cyrus. I don't want to talk about it. think Lyle's brain has been fried enough. There's no fun or suspense to be had in killing you myself unless I'm executing a culprit. Don't mess with my stuff. Ugh. Somehow Lyle remains standing. Ugh. Please, we must move the discussion along. Missy's been acting weird for a while now. I don't think she did it, but I do think she's hiding something. Shut it, Missy! I didn't get to read it because it clicked it too fast. I hate when it does that. Like, I understand why it does that, because it's like to mimic them speaking and like he's speaking over her, but I didn't get to read anything she said. We're here because of you. Lyle was livid, fighting back against collapsing by sheer will. I don't know, I read that wrong, I'm sorry. What is wrong with me? I'm taking control of the discussion this time. Echo, I need you to recall as much information as you can about the murder weapon, the gun. What? Who do you think you are, demanding such things? I am Lyle Termina, the ultimate puzzle master. Need I say again? Is that like is his name like cause doesn't that mean in Spanish like to finish? Terminando? Doesn't it mean finishing? Please, I could be wrong. I took Spanish for 8 years, but I don't speak a lick of it. I'll solve this case like I've solved all the puzzles that have come my way. Your memories are a tool for solving this, and I'll be damned if I don't use anything as instrumental as that. Get to it, Echo. I don't have all day. All right. I'll try to relay what I remember to you all. Lyle might have it out for Missy, but going over the timeline could help us put her in the clear. I think it would be best to start from when the murder weapon was revealed. Maybe then we can trace who had it in the final moments. Who was originally in possession of the gun? Missy. Missy Vesper was the one who initially revealed the gun this morning. She said she woke up in her personal room with the gun given to her as a test to see whether or not she belonged to the preservation project. Missy called me and some other students to discuss her possessing the gun. Who were the other students in the group? Forte, Ashley, Missy, Cannon, Say, Lyle, Forte. No. Lyle and Say were not there, so. Missy assembled a small group for a meeting. There, she brought the existence of the weapon to our attention and discussed her intentions with the gun. She would not cause any harm with it. The group consisted of Forte, Ashley, Missy, and Cannon as well. Everyone at that morning meeting agreed to place an implicit trust in our peers. Missy left the gun in the foyer. After the meeting, Missy left the gun in the main foyer table, wrapped in the cloth she had been carrying it in. After discussing the existence of such a weapon, something happened. Lyle was destroying the kitchen, Say was poking around the pantry, Cannon was photographing plants. Lyle was destroying the kitchen. We discussed the existence of the gun, among other things, until we were interrupted by a loud sound coming from the kitchen. Our whole group went over at once to see what was going on, and there we found Lyle, destroying the kitchen oven as means to test the rules. Lyle announced that he would solve the killing game and went to... Where did he go? Was it the 3rd floor? He didn't go to his room, did he? 3rd floor? Lyle said he would solve the killing game and absconded, okay, fancy, absconded to the 3rd floor to look for more clues, all while clutching the secret note from yesterday. He left the kitchen and took the elevator up as the rest of us remained in the foyer, confused. Shortly after, Cyrus appeared at the top of the 2nd floor stairs, causing someone to act. Cyrus appeared, so Missy acted. Shortly after Lyle departed for the 3rd floor, Cyrus made an appearance at the top of the 2nd floor stairs. Missy went up to confront Cyrus by having a conversation with him in the jazz club. The rest of us went to investigate the 3rd floor for an escape route. I believe it's worth mentioning that Cannon and Forte went up first, with me and Ashley following afterward. None of us took the gun. From the looks of it, Missy and Cyrus's conversation in the jazz club is a gray area that none of us were privy to. Yeah, she needs to start talking. What did she talk to him about? Care to explain yourself and why we shouldn't be suspicious of a private altercation moments before his murder? I was attempting to extract information from him. As you all know, he was acting intensely suspicious yesterday. However, rather than avoid him, I thought to take action and confront him head first. You mentioned this before, but can you explain why you think he's putting on a facade? I mean, for all we know, every word out of his mouth could be a lie. Body language. Huh? Body language? Ah, it seems Canon noticed it as well. Cyrus's body language gives off the impression that he's tense, as if he were being pressured or under stress. Actions speak louder than words, after all. That's true. I did think he looked a little more foreboding than usual. Ultimately, did you get anything from him? Unfortunately not. He was just the same stubbornly cryptic person he was last night. So that's it? In Echo's recollection of people involved in the murder weapon, whose name came up several times? Missy. So don't you think your course of actions would heavily imply a murderous intent that led to this circumstance? But wasn't there something that happened between when... I thought there was something that happened between when Missy confronted Cyrus and when he was shot. Because, like, he was shot and killed in the smoke room, right? But they were on the second floor in the jazz club, or was it the first floor? I don't remember which floor that one's on. When she confronted him. So, I don't know, something's weird. Yes. Signs are strenuously pointing towards me being the one behind it all. But I don't wish to divulge the reasons behind those actions. Why? Why is she doing this? Why is she making it so much harder for everybody by not talking about it? I don't understand why she's doing this. It's really annoying. I didn't want to admit it, but I was beginning to have my doubts about Missy. But if this discussion was worth anything, it had to be a test, whether or not I could really trust Missy. She received a gun, after all, and asked us to tactily trust her. Should I even trust her to begin with? What if she was just goading someone on to be incriminated so she could get away with it? Should I trust Missy? Yes. I'm gonna say yes. I genuinely think that they should trust Missy because I don't believe it's her. Like, in the time that they went up to check, like, the gunshots started pretty soon after they went up searching. I don't know, something's weird. I don't know. Yes. I want to believe in her. I wonder what would happen if I chose no. Would I have gotten, like, a bad ending? Or is this a bad ending? That meant scrutinizing her actions to free her from suspicion. We couldn't afford to jump to conclusions. If I may, I think we need to turn over as many questionable facts as we can to lift suspicion. I agree. The evidence is unmistakably painted with Missy's name, but I'm not still convinced she would have the malicious intent to kill Cyrus. Missy was the one who suggested splitting up to find things that could threaten Cyrus into talking, but she made it clear that she never had any intention of firing the gun. Exactly. This was the event that happened in between when she confronted him, and so she had met up with Echo and Ashley again after that. And she's like, this is the plan, this is what we're going to do. You go find... Ashley offered to get the rope, and Missy was going to go get the gun from the foyer. And like 2 minutes later, barely, the gunshots started. So the timing is what's off. Is that so? It was after she had her conversation with Cyrus in the morning. Our morning group of Canon, Forte, Ashley, and myself paired off to investigate the 3rd floor for an escape route. After some time, Missy met up with me and Ashley outside the garage to talk about Cyrus's weird behavior. It was then that she discussed with Ashley the idea of threatening Cyrus to talk. This was just before the shots began. Then it's clear she used that opportunity to act alone and retrieve the gun herself to shoot Cyrus. How would bringing that up lift suspicion from Missy? If anything, it's more damning proof. That's my cue. I like Forte, he's cool. One of my favorites too, actually. I'd say Forte's like... Well, he's probably my favorite now that Cyrus is gone, let's be honest. Just a minute, please. What I don't understand is this. Why would Missy kill Cyrus if she didn't get the information she wanted? I can only assume the following for her case. She made an attempt to have a civil conversation with Cyrus, only to walk away empty-handed. The motivation is lost, and there shouldn't be any reason to threaten him further in that case. Oh, sure. Make something up in her defense, will you? I can't doubt Missy now. She's the only one who made the bold move of bringing the gun to our attention. Now I have to trust that she didn't do anything wrong. Okay. There's no telling what transpired between Cyrus and Missy. Seeing all of us witnessed her contentious interaction with him in the jazz club, it might take some work to get Lyle on the other side. Missy could be lying about not getting information, just like how she's withholding her alibi. Give it up. Why should we be protecting the culprit? Missy is the only one with actions glaring noteworthy suspicion, and if you can disprove it, then by all means. This could be part of her plan, to lead us in circles during the discussion with her lofty admissions. Okay, so I think I'm gonna I don't think we're refuting, we're agreeing. It's this one, I think. Hang on just a minute. We need to discuss every aspect of this case before jumping to any conclusions. I believe there is something at the crime scene that can clear Missy's suspicion. Then out with it! Is there any evidence that can prove Missy's innocence? The blowtorch? Because those are the things that make no sense. The blowtorch and the gasoline. Missy doesn't seem to have a connection to the blowtorch. No, I need to reassess. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. We're not up to that yet. It's the only thing I can think of, but I need to spin this into an argument somehow. Although it has been noted several times that the gun puts Missy in a dangerous situation, there's something about that gun that's strange. I put Lyle and Say together for some reason. Lyle, Say, there's something I want you to recall for me. Before discovering the body, you two ran into Missy in the 3rd floor main hall, correct? Yeah. That was, right before I helped you out of the art gallery. If that's the case, I want to ask, did you see blood on her hands? Blood on her hands? Nothing of the sort. So you didn't see blood stuck to her hands, but there was blood stuck to the handle of the gun. If Missy really did kill Cyrus by shooting him, why didn't she have blood stuck to her hands when you saw her? You wouldn't be able to forget seeing something shocking like blood-stained hands. I mean, they're right. Huh. Simple answer. Missy could have washed her hands. When Say and I approached to the 3rd floor, I saw Missy exit one of the personal rooms. Okay, but did she have enough time to do this? Like, time is the biggest factor in this trial, I think. Time. It's a big thing, and I'm gonna keep going on about it the whole time. She refuses to share her alibi because she must have been plotting the crime with an accomplice on the 3rd floor. That's why she was acting fishy when Lyle and I ran into her. Huh? I thought I heard something like that outside the garage doors. Oh yeah, that conversation. I heard parts of a conversation just before I called for help. Now that I think about it, I think I can figure out who was speaking at that time. Lyle, you must be a raving madman if you think you can run around the building alone. I'm not doing anything suspicious. I'm doing everything I can to get us out of here, unlike the rest of you. And what are you doing poking around in one of the third-floor personal rooms anyway? How did you even get in here? That is none of your business. So you heard that? Yes. Say and I caught Missy in the act. She was poking around in one of the third-floor personal rooms. And how do you suppose she entered the room? She entered that room using the resident's bracelet. Ooh. That's interesting. How else would she have gotten in? The door was still intact, so it's not like Missy broke it down. The resident's room bracelet. How could she have acquired such a thing? I can only assume whatever Missy and Cyrus talked about earlier might have to do with the fact that she acquired something that couldn't possibly belong to her. In fact, the idea alone of her entering someone else's room is cause for concern. That's true. How did she enter someone else's room? So we know that Ashley had somebody that she knew who was supposedly supposed to be here. We also know that Missy had someone like that too. So it's clear she went into that person's room. How she got in, I don't know. Could she be like a twin? Like, that's the only way I could think that it would let her in if they're identical twins and they have the same DNA. But I don't know. The mechanism for room entry lies in our personally assigned bracelets. Similar to how the bracelets grant access to kiosk functions, the doors must default to being locked and only unlock when we're nearby with the corresponding bracelet. There. The bracelets on our person can't unlock doors that don't match, so Missy entering a room that is not hers implies she gained access through alternative means. What alternative means? What else? She was witnessed speaking with the only other student here that has been revealed to be associated with the killing game, Cyrus. Fine. I'll yield. Cyrus offered me the bracelet of a student I was closely acquainted with. Out of morbid curiosity, I was told to visit her room. Missy withdrew a small rose gold bracelet similar to the ones we all wore ourselves. Okay, so she doesn't have a twin. Never mind. That was too far-fetched. So yes, not only do I have the bracelet on my person, but I do have a bracelet that does not belong to me. As for what I discovered in the room, well, that's as much as I'd like to say. And that's more than enough. There we have it. That explains how she gained entry to the room, as well as lists a reason for her to retaliate against Cyrus. If that doesn't pin Missy down for a motive, then I don't know what will. And she had such a thing this whole time? How was I supposed to defend something like that? So much evidence has stacked against Missy. Despite the overwhelming number of incriminating facts against her, Missy remained unflinching. It's like she's just waiting. But waiting for what? For us to act on her behalf? Out of trust? Remember, I ought to use the gun to threaten him into talking. Make no mistake, I have absolutely no intention of firing it, but Cyrus doesn't need to know that. If Missy's being withholding about her alibi, then there must be a reason behind it. I'll have to work with it rather than against it. I have to trust Missy's intentions. Therefore, I should try to construct an argument that doesn't involve her. Is there another angle I can approach this by? Before we learned of her activity in the room, we were in the middle of disputing the blood-stained gun. Lyle has been aggressively utilizing the connection between Missy and the gun for his argument. But let's say we take her out of the picture. Say she never came in contact with the gun. Perhaps we can tackle the argument from a different side. With just the gun solely in question, we can ask, who really handled the gun? Could it be... Listen, this is going to be an extremely far-fetched thing, but I'm thinking there are a few people here who wear gloves. Could it be that underneath the gloves is bloodstains from handling the gun? I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But we'll see. I don't know. That's just a random guess out of the blue. I don't know. Who handled the gun? Fine. Why don't we entertain the thought? Given the blood-stained handle of the gun, whoever held the gun must have stained their hands in the process. There can only be two people who handled it. Cyrus and Ashley. So there we have it. Echo, do you think Ashley is capable of killing? I do. Echo doesn't, but I do. In my eye. What? No way! Ash would never... After all, I'm certain she knows of the dangers of killing someone. Her own life would be on the line. So what? This is the only explanation plausible if we take your position of Missy's innocence into consideration. If Ashley's life were threatened, don't you think she would retaliate? Anyone would fight back. Fight or flight, Echo. There were clear signs of struggle in the smokehouse lounge as well. That can't be it. Besides, you confirmed it yourself. We recognize that everyone has an alibi. And we've been neglecting talking about Ashley since she's unconscious. Wait. No. So if you really want to stand by Missy being trustworthy, then you have to realize that there must be someone else in our group that killed him. No, Ash doesn't have a motive either. Yes, she does. Echo, think about it. Throw away your relation to Ashley and think logically. Just because she isn't here to defend herself doesn't mean she is immune to being suspected. No. No. No, 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 no. My head was pounding. I began to feel dizzy. If Ashley had the rope when we were together on the second floor, and there was no rope to be found at the crime scene... No, she locked you in the room, Echo. Like, that's why the rope was on the door. She must have bound the double doors of the gallery. Say confirm that the rope kept me locked in the gallery. Ashley yelled out and left to confront something. If you think whoever handled the gun, it can only be those two people. No, that's not true. Wait, because when they were in the gallery together, they heard the first shot. And that's why Ashley ran out to investigate. She investigated the gunshot, so it wasn't Ashley. It was somebody else. It could be you, Lyle, for all I know. Like, he's very intensely trying to blame other people. No. No! I don't want to think about it! Please! Stop this! They don't want to discuss Ashley's involvement due to their close relation, but there might be something important that we're missing. Something important that Echo only knows. Echo is guarding something. What? Why are we suddenly in third person? Are we not Echo anymore? But they've painted themselves into a corner. There's no clean way to get out of this mess. Yikes. Echo, you good over there? Oh my god, look at them. They're tiny, but they're a little scary. I can't accept this. If Echo refuses to understand that Ashley is the only person who is capable of handling the gun and shooting Cyrus, then I'll have to lay out all the pieces for them. Who are we now? We're somebody else. Are we Lyle? Puzzle pieces as always. We are Lyle, oh my god. Echo, allow me to discuss the facts. All of them. Even the unsavory, trifling matters that will come to play. Just like when you were the one who noticed Art slip up. If you insist on protecting Missy, there's one person whose actions remain to be scrutinized. And Ashley is the culprit in question. Do I have any objections? I apologize, Echo, but this topic cannot be ignored. But wasn't she with Echo when the first gunshot went off? Am I remembering incorrectly? Yeah, this is pretty important. The rest of the class remained silent as Echo glared a hole in me. Look at their, I feel like they're glaring at me. I'm sorry. Again, let us begin with the weapon. The mysterious gun that came from Missy's possession. Seeing as the gun handle was stained with blood, we can surmise only 2 people were in contact with it. As we found on the crime scene, both Cyrus and Ashley had bloodstains all over their hands, which naturally leads us to believe one of them fired the gun. I can concur with that assumption. As far as how it came to appear on the 3rd floor, just before the gunfire occurred, Ashley and I hatched a plan to confront Cyrus. I was to use the gun as a show of threat. However, when I went to retrieve it from the foyer, it was missing before I had got to it. That's exactly what I thought. So I don't think it's Missy, but also I don't know if it's Ashley either. It's plausible for Cyrus. It's plausible that Cyrus got to it before you. Regretfully so. Then all the speculated time in question, Cyrus is the only possible suspect to have initially retrieved the gun, since Echo, Ashley, and Cannon and Forte were elsewhere. Now, I believe we can all agree, based on the sounds heard, there were 4 shots fired in total. In that case, we need to determine the order and relevance of each shot. Cannon and I boarded ourselves in the garage on the 3rd floor after the first shot rang out from the smoke lounge. We sheltered ourselves inside from there on out. And Lyle and I partnered up after the second, but we were all the way on the 1st floor. So we can determine these first 2 shots were not the life-threatening ones, since no one was in the vicinity of the smoke lounge, and there were 2 gunshots in the wall. However, between the 2nd and 3rd shot is where Ashley's alibi becomes problematic. You're wrong. Oh. There's nothing wrong with Ashley's alibi. I can verify it for her. I was with Ashley when she went to the 2nd floor to the climbing center, as well as when she went to the 3rd floor. I never let her out of my sight the entire time we were traveling up and down the stairs. Damn, Echo's thoughts and judgment are being clouded by their relation to Ashley. I have to focus somewhere in Echo's statement and lay the facts straight so they understand. Okay. I can verify it for her. I was with Ashley. It wasn't... this one? I never let her out of my sight. What proves Echo and Ashley were separated? The rope. You're missing a piece in your argument. But didn't you say Ashley shoved you in the art gallery just before you heard the 3rd shot? The rope binding the doors proves that there was a moment you 2 were separated from sight. It's possible that she entered the smoke lounge from that time frame. In that case, the 4th and final shot ought to be the one that killed Cyrus. The only person left without an alibi, given Echo's testimony of the culprit's last movements. The only person left is Ashley. That can't be it! There's so many refutes. No. Ash yelled Missy's name. It's possible Missy was within the vicinity of the smoke lounge. After all, Missy's actions on the 3rd floor are still strange. We can't ignore that. I was struggling, trying to protect Ashley. What do we do? If there's anything you can think of that will cut through Echo's lies, tell them that the truth is out there. Okay. There's something that proves Missy was not within the vicinity of the smoke lounge. Lyle and Say's account. Wait just a minute! Wait! That's not possible! Remember, Lyle and I saw Missy exiting a personal room. She had just come out of the personal room when we arrived, and only then began to act suspiciously. I suppose I ought to surrender holding my tongue. Yes, I was withholding my alibi earlier, but the point of secrecy has passed now that my whereabouts have come into direct question. I kept my alibi secret to prevent beginning today's deliberation with immediate worry and disillusionment. I confessed Cyrus bestowed upon me a terrible gift, this bracelet. It allowed me access to a room that was not mine. A room belonging to a close personal acquaintance, one I hold in my thoughts often. I entered the room upon Cyrus's taunting instruction, that I see for myself what's become of this person. I discovered nothing, save for my fears becoming reality. My alibi is simply as follows. I did not leave the 3rd floor personal room I gained entry to after I heard the 2nd gunshot. Therefore, I did not see Ashley on the 3rd floor at all. Took long enough to get that testimony out of you. But in that case, Ashley really is the only person who could have encountered Cyrus in the smoke lounge. Therefore, we can assume from the appearance of that room that Ashley and Cyrus fought in the duration of time between the 3rd and 4th shot. No way. Echo. The smoke lounge was in a state of disarray, but the casino wasn't. Ashley's body was found in the casino, so it's possible she never set foot in the smoke lounge. That's not true. Since there's no visible evidence of the two fighting. Echo knows very well there were clear signs of strife. A new tactic is in order. Echo, your judgment is clouded, and I think you know that. There was glass and blood littered near Ashley's unconscious body in the casino that could have only come from one place. The casino itself was spotless, free of signs of struggle. The detritus leading from the smoke lounge to the casino, however, tells a different story. With all these facts in mind, let's review. We've discovered everyone's paired alibis, Missy's room activity, and Echo's entrapment in the art gallery in relation to the gunshot timeline frees them from suspicion. We also determined Cyrus was the one who initially wielded the gun, and that Ashley had plans to counter Cyrus's scheme. In the small period during which Ashley and Echo were separated, a struggle occurred between Ashley and Cyrus in the smoke lounge, just across the hall, resulting in the disorderly state of the room. And yet at the end of it, one person came out alive and the other dead. Echo, you have to see that the culprit behind this is plain as day. What? No. Oh, I don't know, but then what were the first two shots? Like, were they just shot at the wall? Did he just shoot the wall for no reason? Maybe he was trying to get rid of all the bullets in there. Face the facts. There's only one possible answer. I refuse. I don't even recall Ashley considering Cyrus a threat. So what motive would she have to kill him anyway? Echo, why are you lying? That couldn't be further from the truth. Yeah, they're lying now, and I understand that they're desperate and they're taken aback, they're confused, they're frustrated, they're angry, they're hurt. That, like, I understand this, but now it's at the point where this is a lie. There must be anyone else involved. Anyone but her. Jeez. Echo. You really are a stubborn one. Don't you understand the danger we're in? Please, Echo. I understand that this is a painful realization for you. We are just as mortified that such a dreadful thing has happened. It's awful, but there has to be a reason, right? No. If there is a reason, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Why would Ash endanger herself like this? Throwing her life away like this? It seems so careless. It's not careless though, right? 'Cause her entire thing, she wants to protect Echo, and I think that's what she's doing. In a way. I don't know. There's something else that needs to be brought to Echo's attention. Cyrus's gun wound, the kiosk message, gasoline. The gasoline, we haven't talked about it. I guess not. Allow me to widen your depth of field. Oh, does she have bracelets? Bracelets. What is wrong with me? Does she have braces, I meant to say? I never see her smile with her teeth, so I never noticed. I believe I have the answer. Or rather, we all do. It seems Echo didn't see the kiosk message. The what? Kiosk message? Remember? The digital kiosk can deliver direct messages across other kiosks in the building. That's correct. Pennon and I saw the message as we waited out the gunfire in the garage. This message was dictated from the smoke lounge some time after the third shot was fired. I recall it read, "Kill Echo." Yep, that's exactly right. No one asked you. Oh, I remember now. Lyle and I saw the second floor kiosk lighting up while we were running by. Come on. You heard the gunfire too, right? So far, there have been 3 shots, but where the hell did a gun come from? How should I know? Hey, slow down. I can't keep up. We can't take our sweet time in a moment like this. Lyle, look. The kiosk. It's displaying a message. Kill Echo from Cyrus. The smoke lounge. That's on the 3rd floor. I think Ashley's trying to protect Echo because Cyrus was gonna go kill him. Or them, sorry. I never saw such a thing. But it's awfully damning in what it is implying. I concur, it's quite a pointed message. In that case, we can assume that Echo might have actually been Cyrus's intended target. Oh, sorry, I clicked the wrong button. Escape! Echo. Ashley didn't endanger herself out of carelessness, but for your sake. She threw her life into the fray to keep yours safe. Then, there should be little doubt that the 4th shot must have been the one to kill Cyrus. The shot fired after Ashley left Echo's side. I don't understand. Why for me? I'm not like the rest of you. Because she loves you. I'm no ultimate student. I can't survive this strife between ultimates. I don't have the skills or talents to offer the world. It should have been me at the opposite end of the gun. Oh my god, is that really what happened? Pardon me. The voice of Eve interrupted the looming courtroom silence. I have an update on Ashley's health. She is steadily recovering at the moment. She's okay. However, I have discovered traces of Complex 53 in her system. Complex 53? Isn't that the very substance Zero threatened time and time again to release? Yes. I examined the bracelet in her possession, and it appears the glass vial has been shattered, allowing the liquid state to enter her system via absorption through skin. Shattered. It's possible that it broke from some kind of impact from Cyrus and Ashley's fight. Just a minute. The bracelet in her possession? It is not her own bracelet? It is not. She had in her possession the bracelet of Silva Prower. Ashley's bracelet is still intact. Girl, Ashley's keeping secrets. She's keeping secrets. If she had Silva's bracelet, then there's no doubt. She had a clear motive. It's possible she was goaded on by Cyrus with the bracelet of an important figure, just as Missy was. No way! Cyrus probably just broke the vial himself and administered the liquid to Ash during their fight. Or Zero could have unleashed it to harm her. Zero's killing game announcement always talks about toxic gases, so it's possible he's the one behind it. Damn it, Echo. I'm tired of this. You still refuse to accept the reality of this case. Zero can't have done it, and I'll tell you why it's simply not even up for debate. I was testing the rules early this morning, right? Rule 4 states breaking major assets is strictly prohibited, but nothing happened all day. It was only until the beginning of this very trial I suffered the effects of Zero's sonic weapon as punishment for breaking the rules. If he waited until we entered the trial grounds to punish me, why would he unleash the Complex 53 toxin if there weren't any signs of Ashley breaking the rules? Oh man. Zero, did you or did you not release Complex 53 onto Ashley?
What? Bruh, I'm only here for the arbitrary of this game.
Answer.
Nope, didn't do it.
No. This can't be. It can't be. You still don't get it. We've been running around in circles in this trial because you vehemently refuse to face the truth. Don't you have any value in your life? Your lapse in judgment is what will get us all killed. Oh no. Lyle, have some sympathy, won't you? But I have to agree with you. Echo, please. The trial is difficult enough to participate in, but it's necessary to determine the culprit for our safety. Allow yourself to be selfish and act on self-preservation instead of on the well-being of others. Don't concern yourself with protecting me. Don't concern yourself with speaking for Ashley. You'll only end up hurting yourself if we judge this incorrectly. Just follow the truth, and you can protect yourself. I know we're asking a lot, since the truth isn't what you want to hear, but please. Oh man, protect myself? What did that mean? I thought I had to protect Missy on behalf of trust. She placed her faith in us after all. And I had to protect Ashley because she's my closest friend, but myself? I felt stuck. I know Missy didn't kill Cyrus. I just know it. And it was impossible for anyone else to have killed him, so the answer was clear as day. I just didn't want to accept it. But by doing so, I was drawing out this trial for my own self-indulgence. and dragging everyone else through this hell. I've forgotten the reason we're here. To save ourselves. And I've purposefully suppressed the fact that there was something on the crime scene that solidified Ashley's involvement. And I saw the damning thing, and I chose to forget it. Yes, the weapon was undebatable. The culprit had a motive. The struggle showed traces of her involvement. The person who fought Cyrus and eventually won is... It's all Ashley. Now, I know I said at the beginning it would be interesting if Ashley ended up killing someone, but it actually happened. Ashley Westbridge killed Cyrus. Oh my god. Ashley. Is she here? Is she here right now?
I'm gonna take this lull in conversation to assume you're all done discussing the case, yeah? After all, it was pretty obvious from the start. Well, whatever. This is your space anyway, so without further ado, it's voting time!
Yeah, I definitely like this voice better for Zero than the other one I did. Than the Monokuma voice. Ashley, why?
Ding ding ding! Yeah, the culprit responsible for the murder of Cyrus is none other than the ultimate jockey, Ashley Westbridge. And almost all of you voted correctly. Luckily, majority rules, so it's punishment time.
Is she here? She's not even here. She's not here. Wait, what do you mean by that? Almost all of us voted correctly.
Haha, well, I guess it's my fault for not mentoring that not voting is a big no-no. Voting should be common sense. You have responsibility to make your voice heard. Lives are on the line. Or something like that. Missy would know.
Don't rope me into this asinine argument.
Think of it this way. You're voting for the lesser of two evils. Punish one person for committing a crime, or punish everyone for being ignorant. But I could see in Echo's face that they figured it out, so I suppose I'll call it a vote. Aren't I just the nicest, most flexible judge ever?
Echo, you didn't vote? How could I? Unbelievable! Everyone's lives are at stake, and you still had the audacity to protect the culprit? You're a hopeless case, Echo. I don't understand how you failed to recognize the weight of your actions. The truth was glaringly obvious, yet you continue to run away. You have no perception of consequence. How dare you refuse to give your all in order to save yourself? Why are you attacking me? This thing that just happened to my best friend, it's awful! Don't you know how I feel too, Lyle? We've already lost 3 friends. Why does this cycle keep turning? Of course I know how you feel. But it's pointless to let things spin out like this. That's why I'm trying my best to solve this killing game. I don't need you turning your cheek away from reality. That will only make things worse. Damn it. Is she here? I looked over to Ashley, who recovered enough strength to sorry, I think it's because I'm drinking so much water. To join us in the courtroom. The last moments of our discussion. Ash, I don't get it. To protect me, you threw yourself into danger. And look where it got you! At the foot of an execution! Ash, you're such an idiot. How could you do something so careless? Echo, I thought about nothing but your safety. Huh? All I've ever wanted is the safety and health of my friends. But look what rotten trouble I get everyone into. First Silva, and now Echo. Maybe it's better like this. Echo, you don't have to worry about me anymore. Thank goodness, right? If I was in that trial, you wouldn't have budged, and you might have voted Missy off instead. At least you know you can trust her. What are you saying? I thought that if I could remove a threat from this horrible game, my actions would have been all worth it. But it turns out Cyrus was just asking for this. Cyrus used Silva's bracelet as a show of threat. That the reason he had it and Silva didn't was because Cyrus said he had eliminated him. Isn't that right? He said the same to me when I received my additional bracelet. Cyrus, ultimate confidential informant, knew things we would soon rather forget. And he used that information to get under our skin.
I told you, he's someone to be wary of.
So Ashley essentially lost the preservation project's mole? What if he had information that could have gotten us out?
Oh, he had information all right. But he would never tell.
Zero's right. When I confronted him to inquire about his facade, he kept dodging my questions. He was acting so odd. As it appears, his strange behavior went all according to plan. He was acting suspicious to invite someone into attacking him. And I completely fell for it. But I felt terrible after because when he collapsed, his aggressive facade faded and he laughed. He was glad. Yes, Cyrus fully intended to take someone down with him. Cyrus fired those initial 2 shots to draw attention. I arrived on the 3rd floor with Echo, and I ushered Echo into the art gallery and bound the doors with rope from the climbing center. I confronted Cyrus in the smoke lounge, and he fired right away. The 3rd shot was a near miss. Cyrus! Not a step closer, Ashley. Unless you'd like to end up with like your friend, Silva. What do you know about Silva? Oh, I know everything there is to know. Financial records, personal records, etc. After all, I'm the ultimate confidential informant. My job is to seek information about the preservation project's subjects. I personally saw to his removal. And you're next. Not if I have anything to say about it. Yeah? I'd act fast if I were you. You wouldn't want to go down in flames without getting the information you want, would you? How did his racing helmet end up in your room? Why, by yours truly, of course. And his personal vehicle is a 94 Lister Storm, the very vehicle that is in this garage right now. Cyrus threatened me with an awful trinket and a time limit. He prepared to split gasoline and had a blowtorch ready to burn the room down if I didn't act. I fought to keep him at bay. Oh man. Oh, this is intense. See, like, this is the kind of thing I want for the execution. Images. Like, that would be awesome. He eventually dropped the gun. I retrieved the gun and gripped the handle fiercely, but Cyrus remained completely cool. He noticed my hesitance and silently tossed a tiny rose gold bracelet in my direction. I snatched it out of the air and turned it over in my hands to reveal the name engraved into it. Silva Prower. See, look at this art. This is beautiful. I love everything. Oh, I'm sorry. I was too busy talking about the art to even know what Cyrus said. Quiet. This isn't right. Why put us through this awful game? For the sake of the future? I'm not an ultimate student. Let's play a game. There's 2 more bullets somewhere in that chamber. If you fire and I live, I'll let you walk away scot-free. Your hands would be clean, and you were meant to be an ultimate student, born to benefit the world. If you fire and I die, then... Of course, you know what happens. But in his last moments, he just lets out a chuckle and a sigh of relief. He looked relaxed. He looked as calm as when we first met him. I was confused. Why wasn't he fighting back at all? You're tough enough to crack, you know. What are you doing? I'm trying to save you. I know I took a chance with that shot, but there has to be another answer. Oh no. The Preservation Project is a miserable organization that I contributed to. I rallied this group of ultimate students, compiled all the information I could about you all for the project. The project and their game. It's a cruel experiment, all for the sake of the future. Why are you telling me this? So you won't feel guilty about killing me. But how could I not feel guilty? There could have been some other way to get you out of this mess. Cyrus, I don't understand. Why did it have to come to this? Because I thought I had immunity from the game. But when Zero called me out for my cover talent, I knew something was wrong. Why would Zero, an arbiter for the killing game, conducted by the Preservation Project, wish to reveal my place in the game? Something was wrong. It's all wrong. This game is all wrong. I couldn't wrap my head around a thing he was saying. I didn't dare wish to know what he was talking about, but what's wrong? He coughed out a small chuckle. I made you do a horrible thing. The problem with this game is that you become attached to the ones you're with. As time goes on, bonds are made with the strangers you eventually come to call your friends. I should have never involved myself with you at all. I couldn't meet his eyes. I knew it would be too painful. You might hate me for this, but it's for the best, for you and for me. Winning the game is nothing but smoke and mirrors. I'm sorry, but thank you for helping me escape this game. He held my hands in his own trembling grasp, weakly pushing my attempts at stopping his suffering away. Oh, this is sad. Oh man. Oh, this is... After I shot him, I knew immediately what terrible fate I found myself in. I was tethered to meet the same end the moment I fell into this trap. I fled the scene, leaving it a mess, because I knew it would be pointless to conceal the truth. But even then, I knew the trial discussion would trace back to my incrimination. That's why I went so far as to shatter the vial of Complex 53 in Silva's bracelet to take myself out of the picture. Ash, why would you do such a thing to yourself? It's awful. I know. Please, don't hate me. And forgive me for making such a selfish request, but I'll ask that you live and survive. I did it all for you. Oh, this is so sad.
Aw, that's so sweet. But too bad for you, 'cause that sickly sweet sentimentalism isn't gonna save you from your execution, silly goose. Murder is murder. What's the thing you say? Oh, there's no gray area about it.
No, wait. Oh, this one. Man, this chapter and this trial has been so much better than the first one. This one's really good. Oh my gosh. This is good.
There's no stopping this freight train of despair, Echo. You were among the ones who sealed her fate after all. So sit back and enjoy the show.
No! Oh, yes, here it is. This is it. Yes. Ashley's hand slipped from mine. She disappeared into the black as I collapsed over myself. And, I thought it was good. Is there gonna be more images or is it just text again? Did I get too excited? All I could do to pull myself up was keep my focus squarely on Ashley as her horrified visage was projected up for us to grimace upon. I tried to soak up my final moments with her, even though I knew they were going to be gruesome. Ashley was chained to a metal post. An industrial whirring spun in my skull as a set of arms began to wind up. Clenched at the end of each arm was a horseshoe. Ashley was bound in the direct path across the massive grinding machinery, 40 feet away. See, yes, there, the image. So much better already. Ashley's expression was taut. There was only one way out of this game for her, and it was winding up in front of her, just a few paces away. Girl, are they playing a game of horseshoes on her? Oh, that's messed up. The first pitch was thrown. The light clink as the arm released a horseshoe made my heart drop. It missed with a full thud on the dirt behind Ashley. A second, third, fourth, sixth pitches were thrown with wild abandon, as if purposely missing to prolong my own suffering. The anticipation was miserable. Ashley's gray, scornful eyes seemed to meet mine from within the projected screen. I couldn't look any longer. I felt sick. I turned away in agony and heard the distinct sound of a pitch breaking bone. God. Ashley Westbridge, Ultimate Jockey, Execution by Horseshoes. Oh, that's intense. Man. Like I said from the beginning, it would be so interesting if Ashley ended up being a killer, and she ended up being a killer. But it's so... This whole case has been the morally gray case, and I feel for everybody. Like, I feel for Cyrus, I feel for Ashley, I feel for Echo, I feel for everybody. Like, this is... The game is getting really, really good. I'm gonna put it out there. The game is so good now. Like, I think this chapter has been so much better than the first one, and I'm here for it. I could feel the life drain from my body. There was nothing but pain during her last moments. The pain that destroyed her body. And the pain that stung in her heart.
Oh, it's so satisfying building up all this hope and cheer to eventually strike it down with a decisive kill. It's a little boring though. The participants killing for defensive reasons. We wouldn't even give a motive, which was a bit of a curveball, but interesting that a murder occurred nonetheless. Well, I mean, I suppose I did put Cyrus on blast for conniving with the Preservation Project group. He got in the way of the game after all, so I guess it was beneficial for me in the end.
The whole trial made my head spin. I felt wretched. I stared at the floor. Not a breath was heard from the others. They seemed just as stunned into silence. And in the depths of our devastation, Eve's silvery voice crept in. I beseech you all to keep the memory of your friends close. It's awful. I don't want to remember this. Remain strong. As I nursed Ashley back in health, she kept asking aloud, Is Echo okay? Is Echo okay? She cared for you until her last breath. Don't think for a second she didn't put everything on the line for you. But why me? I apologize. I cannot say for certain what she was thinking. Except, Ashley, without a doubt, cared for you deeply. She loved you, okay, Echo? She loved you, and that's why she protected you to the end, and oh, my heart. As difficult as it is, cling to what remains of Ashley, her memory.
Really? That's all you have this time, Eve? Some empty sentimentalism. You know, Eve claims to be on your side, but look at what she's done. Why not just leave Ashley to die of the Complex 53 poisoning, Eve? Oh, ha! I know why. Because you love reveling in the despair too. She nursed Ashley back to health so I could kill her.
Ashley returned to us, only to be cruelly beaten to death. Yeah, that's kind of messed up. Like, they saved her from the poisoning, only to beat her with horseshoes. That moment, that shred of relief, it was so quickly quashed. And it was so quickly mutilated into twisted dark feelings.
How pathetic. You'll never end a game like this. You'll fail once more. Despair will triumph over hope yet again, Eve.
Yeah, I don't trust this Eve person either, okay? Like, they're not to be trusted either. I don't know who it is, but...
And it's all your fault.
Zero and Eve warped away and the courtroom was engulfed in silent darkness once again. Echo. Missy's voice was a whisper. She laid a gentle hand on my shoulder. Hey, let's get you out of here. I listlessly followed Missy out of the courtroom. Everyone else filtered out of the courtroom at their own pace as well, dissolving into their own individual lost thoughts for the evening. Without a single word, Missy led me down the living quarters, called to my personal room. Before I entered, Cannon stopped me out of nowhere. I realized that must have been hard for you, Echo. But, here, just take this. Cannon handed me a photograph. Oh no! Oh! Oh no, the babies! Oh, look at them, they're so cute! Oh! Echo's not in this photo. Did Echo take this picture? It was a photo of the students gathered in the atrium. Everyone was in the photo except me and Cannon. I took this photo on the first day. It was after the first Killing Game announcement. After the Killing Game announcement? I recalled the moment in time. I went to my personal room after declining Ashley's invitation to use the spa lounge with Pandora. Art insisted that I work my magic and take a photo of the group, since we'd be staying together as friends in his mansion. Despite that awful announcement, he still wanted to take a neat, pleasant picture. I'm a little embarrassed of it. I don't often photograph groups, but... Oh no. I hope this helps ease your pain. Why would you show me this? What do you mean? I don't want to see this. This idyllic scene of our friends who aren't with us anymore. The killings are too vivid in my mind for me to believe a simple photograph. I hate this. Sorry. I was just trying to help. Yeah, don't be mean to her, Echo. Don't be mean to her. She's just trying to help you. They ripped it. Don't do that. No, Cannon ripped it. Cannon tore the photo in half. Happy? Cannon spat her final remark with a huff before sulking off, her footsteps heavy on the carpet. Missy picked up the pieces of the photograph. That was awfully cold of you, Echo. What do you want me to do? I mumbled. I have nothing to offer the world as an ultimate. I can't do anything. I feel like I lost myself in that trial. I had to detach myself from the people I care about. For what? The truth? I just scoffed. After all, it was Missy's fault the gun was introduced to the group. It was her fault the gun fell into the wrong hands. Her fault I lost Ashley. Uh-oh, Echo, this is a really bad train of thought you're having right now. This is not a good way to go. Stop. Echo, I know that this is very it's upsetting and all these things, but you can't think like this. Missy sighed softly. It was never my intention to get Ashley executed. I shrugged Missy away. I didn't want to listen to her. I went to my personal room. Oh, Echo. I sat on the bed. I sat and I cried. Oh man, this is really intense. Art and Ashley, they did a horrible thing for their friends. When pressed, the two of them only thought to protect the ones important to them. What an interesting concept. It's completely idiotic, though. They disregarded their lives for someone else. Selfless and stupid is what they were. Selflessness gets you nothing in return. In a game like this, you have to be selfish and act in self-preservation. Always look out for number one. Number one. No. 101. Someone's glitching. What's happening? Ooh, there's lots of zeros and ones. That's a code. Some kind that usually signifies like... I wonder if this is an alternate reality. I wonder if this is a virtual world. 6 students remain. Chapter 2 ends. Oh my god. That is the end of chapter 2, and I'm going to end this part here. Thank you so much for watching this with me. This was crazy. I know at the beginning I had said that it would be interesting if Ashley were a culprit. And she was. But like also, it's so intense. Like, she did it to protect Echo, but now Echo is very angry at her. And all the zeros and ones, I wonder if they're in a virtual world. Because Echo seems to be glitching a little bit. But I understand why they're angry and why they don't want anything to do with the other people who are trying to help them. But I don't think them blaming Missy and everything is going to help. It won't bring Ashley back. It won't bring Cyrus back. It won't bring Art back. And it won't bring Pandora back. So they just have to get through this. I don't know. I don't know what to expect from here on out. I think, actually, like I thought that this game was 6 chapters, but I think it's actually 3. So I think the next chapter is the last chapter. Because there are only 7 days, and we're on like day 4, or it'll probably be day 5 by the time the next chapter starts. But, yeah. I am going to end this part here, and I will see you in the next one. Make sure you subscribe so that you can see when I post the next one, because listen, this story has gotten really good. Chapter 1 was a bit meh and lackluster for me. Chapter 2, it was really good. I enjoyed chapter 2 immensely more than chapter 1. I'm just gonna put that out there. Even the text style execution was better in the sense that there were more images to go with it. Like, it wasn't as animated and intense as a lot of other executions in these games, but I still enjoyed it. Even the executions, yes, they're the low point of this game, but they're still good. Like, I enjoyed Ashley's so much more than Art's. Like, that one, I don't remember Art's at all, but I have a feeling I'll remember Ashley's. So, yep, we'll see what happens, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.